Houston versus Duke, clash of the Titans in the 2025 Final Four, a March Madness classic for the ages. March Madness doesn't get any more intense than the battle between Duke and Houston in the NCAA Final Four. This wasn't just another game on the tournament schedule. This was a heavyweight collision between the storied legacy of the Duke Blue Devils and the relentless, gritty rise of the Houston Cougars. For fans of college basketball, the Duke versus Houston game was a masterclass in athleticism, strategy, and drama. Let's dive deep into the Duke versus Houston highlights, final score, player stats, and what it all means as the NCAA Championship Game 2025 looms just ahead. Houston versus Duke, a Final Four showdown for the ages. Coming into the Final Four, the energy surrounding the Duke versus Houston game was electric. Duke basketball, led by rising star Cooper Flagg and head coach Jon Scheyer, had battled through the tournament with poise and flair. On the other side, the Houston Cougars, with Kelvin Sampson at the helm, were determined to prove they belonged among the nation's elite. Fans were already asking the burning questions. Who won the Duke-Houston game? Did Duke win last night? What time does Duke play today? All eyes were on this matchup in the men's NCAA basketball Final Four. Final Four score, Houston 67, Duke 62. The final score of the Duke-Houston game doesn't fully reflect the intensity of the contest. From the opening tip-off to the final buzzer, it was a closely contested game marked by defensive grit and clutch performances. Houston's L.J. Cryer came out firing, scoring 19 points and keeping the Blue Devils on their heels. Juwan Roberts added 14 points and 9 rebounds, making life tough inside for Duke's frontcourt. Cooper Flagg led Duke with 15 points and 7 rebounds, but he battled foul trouble and was forced to sit during key stretches of the second half. Tyrese Proctor chipped in 12 points, while Mark Mitchell added 10. The Duke score showed promise, but turnovers and late defensive lapses proved costly. In the closing minutes, Houston's composure sealed the deal. Free throws by Jamal Shead and a key defensive stop by Roberts iced the game. The Cougars punched their ticket to the NCAA Championship Game, 230-25. Who won, Duke or Houston? Houston claims victory. To answer the most Googled question of the night, who won, Duke or Houston? The answer is clear. Houston defeated Duke 67-62 in a gritty Final Four showdown. This win puts Houston into the national spotlight as they prepare for the NCAA Finals. It's another painful chapter for Duke, who came so close but couldn't find the answer to Houston's physical style. Houston Cougars basketball, one win from history. The University of Houston basketball program has long been searching for that elusive national title. From the days of Hakeem Olajuwon and Islam Ajama to recent tournament runs under Kelvin Sampson, the Cougars have flirted with greatness. So has Houston won a national championship in basketball? Not yet. But with this win over Duke, the Cougars are now one step away from finally claiming the NCAA crown. The Final Four men's games don't get more meaningful than this. And if the Cougars can finish strong in the NCAA championship, they'll earn a spot in college basketball history. Duke lost. What went wrong for the Blue Devils? Did Duke win? No. Did Duke lose? Yes. The Duke Blue Devils, despite a talented roster and strong play throughout March Madness, came up short when it mattered most. Cooper Flagg showed flashes of brilliance but couldn't carry the team on his own. Duke struggled with turnovers and offensive execution late in the game. For a team with national championship aspirations, this Duke collapse will sting for a while. The Duke basketball schedule ends here for the 2025 season, but with Flagg, Proctor, and others potentially returning, there's hope in Durham. Jon Scheyer will need to regroup and prepare for another run next year. Final Four scores and stats. Duke versus Houston. Recap Final Four score. Houston 67, Duke 62. Houston Cougars. Key players. L.J. Cryer, 19 points, 4 assists. Juwan Roberts, 14 points, 9 rebounds. Jamal Shead, 11 points, 6 assists. Duke Blue Devils key players. Cooper Flagg, 15 points, 7 rebounds. Tyrese Proctor, 12 points, 3 assists. Mark Mitchell, 10 points, 5 rebounds. Notable stat: Houston forced 14 turnovers and dominated the offensive glass, giving them critical second chance points. Where to watch the Duke-Houston game? If you missed the live broadcast, you can still catch the Duke versus Houston highlights on CBS Sports, ESPN College Basketball, or the NCAA March Madness app. Streaming platforms like NCAA Live on ESPN. Calm are offering full replays. Curious where to watch Duke Blue Devils men's basketball versus Houston Cougars men's basketball in the future? Keep an eye on your sports listings for March Madness coverage and schedule updates. What's next? NCAA Final and Championship dreams with the win. Houston now moves on to the NCAA Final. The Cougars await the winner of the other Final Four game, which means Cougar fans have one more showdown before they can celebrate a national title. The NCAA Basketball Championship Game 2025 will be held on April 8th. Can Houston finish the job? Will they finally capture the title that has eluded them since the Olajuwon era? Meanwhile, Duke heads home, reflecting on what went wrong. Still, with a roster stacked with young talent and Coach Shire gaining experience, the future looks bright. Final thoughts. Duke versus Houston game leaves lasting impact. The Duke versus Houston game was everything fans hoped it would be. Hard fouls, fast breaks, big-time shots, March Madness drama. For college basketball purists, this was a Final Four game for the ages. Did Houston beat Duke? Yes. Did Duke lose? Unfortunately for their fans, yes. But the story doesn't end there. Both teams showed why they belong among the best in men's NCAA basketball. As the Final Four basketball action wraps up, all eyes turn to the NCAA Championship. Will Houston finally lift the trophy? Stay tuned. For now, one thing is clear. The Houston Cougars men's basketball team took down a Titan, and college basketball may never be the same.